When we talk about teacher burnout, we usually treat it like an emotional failure, a lack of personal resilience. But if you actually look at the mechanics of a modern educator's day, you don't see an emotional crisis. You see a structural collapse. Across the global economy right now, 80% of workers report they do not have the basic time or energy required to finish their primary professional duties. This diagram illustrates what economists call the capacity gap. It shows human inputs, our time and energy, on one side, being completely crushed by an accelerating block of administrative demands on the other. The math is simply unsustainable. By labeling this mathematical deficit as everyday stress, the education system places the burden of solving it back on the individual, and that guarantees the steady exodus of our most capable talent. The physical demands of managing a classroom are obvious, but the real structural failure happens quietly on the digital backend. Look at this 24-hour timeline. You'll find 275 digital interruptions hitting an employee daily. As this timeline shatters into tiny, disconnected slivers, deep focus becomes impossible. Educators operate as rapid response data routers. Our modern infrastructure has accidentally separated the educator from the act of education. We leave them virtually zero cognitive capacity for the one thing they were hired to do: teach. We cannot solve a capacity deficit by asking people to work harder. The math requires a completely new variable, something that scales independently of human exhaustion. Historically, intelligence was a limited resource, locked inside human brains. Now it's expanding into a decentralized, abundant utility. Notice these independent nodes mapping their own routes. This is the AI agent, a system that independently reasons, plans, and executes entire workflows. Tapping into this utility is the mathematical way to separate the knowledge worker from the sheer drudgery of knowledge work. Early corporate adopters are already restructuring around this digital labor, and we can apply that exact same logistical model directly to the school environment. Instead of drowning in data entry, AI agents autonomously schedule parent-teacher conferences, instantly triage late-night student queries, and process endless towers of bureaucratic paperwork. This chart shows the impact of that automation in an enterprise setting, where deploying an agent to locate complex customer information collapsed the required search time from a massive 10-minute window down to a 30-second sliver. This shifts the core role of the teacher. Every educator becomes an agent boss, a professional who steps back from executing administrative busywork and instead oversees a dedicated team of digital assistants who handle it for them. By delegating robotic tasks to actual systems, the institution closes the capacity gap and reclaims the hours stolen from the school day. A sudden influx of digital labor naturally triggers institutional anxiety, but closing the administrative gap is not the same thing as replacing the educator. To get the balance right, administrators rely on this matrix. It illustrates the human-agent ratio, a way to divide responsibilities between operational scale for the machine and relational depth for the human. AI has an absolute advantage on the operational side. It offers around-the-clock availability, frictionless speed, and the ability to process limitless volumes of data without ever getting tired. But on the relational side, human biology holds a strict monopoly. A machine cannot exercise moral judgment, express genuine empathy, or navigate complex interpersonal conflicts between students. The goal of digital integration is not to simulate the act of teaching. It is to ruthlessly protect the teacher's cognitive load, so they are fully present for the moments that require high-stakes human judgment. The end result of this transition is the frontier school, an institution fully redesigned from the ground up to utilize intelligence on tap. Without the constant digital noise and administrative panic, educators are finally able to step back. They can return to the slow, nuanced work of sitting down and actually connecting with their students. This structural shift attacks systemic burnout at the source. It realigns the day-to-day reality of the job with the original pedagogical purpose that drew these teachers to the profession in the first place. It creates a compelling paradox. Only by fully deploying artificial intelligence to carry our administrative burdens can we ensure that the classroom remains deeply and unapologetically human. When we talk